Wow, now I'm closer all of a sudden. Hi, Angelina, Sparkling Deva. I had not expected it. That it suddenly sort of zoomed in, and now, well, it's okay, I suppose. Anyhow, I'm going to do reading. The cards are here, as you can see. 3 sets of cards. This is about the upcoming lunar eclipse and the full moon and the beginning of the Lion's Gate, and I'm first going to tell you a bit about that as well, because we got a lot coming up. It's almost insane. It's just unbelievable what's going to happen in a few days, and that's already building up. So I printed it out. I'm going to read parts of that because it's about astrology, planets, etc. The energies that we can expect, how that will work out. And well, I'm not an astrologer. I am not going to memorize all that stuff. So I just printed it out. Otherwise I have to sit behind my computer and then so I can read it, and I don't want that. I wanted to sit at my table. So I'm going to read that out. It's not my own information, right? It's I'll tell you in a bit what website I got the information from, and then after that we're going into the reading 3 sets. And look at my, oh, you can't see that anymore, what a bummer. Look at my selenite. It's a new wand, a rough selenite wand. I got that yesterday. Oh, look at it, it's beautiful, it's absolutely gorgeous. And on one side it's still got this yeah, I suppose matrix or whatever, to, you know, a bit of rock of what it's been attached to, but it's just absolutely beautiful. I only got it in yesterday and I haven't held it all that much yet, so all these tiny little needles keep falling off. Anyhow, I hope I can get this done within the 1 recording. If not, well, yeah, I always try to do that. I can keep an eye on time, but after 47 minutes it's automatically going into a 2nd recording. And it's really stinking hot. Let's start. What's coming up? We're in the build-up of Mercury Retrograde. The climax of that is 2 days, and that's going to hit us on the 25th and the 26th of July. The funny thing is, well, on the 25th of July we also have the day outside of time, is from the Mayan calendar, and the start of the Lion's Gate. I done a video clip on that, on what you can expect, and a reading as well. It might be handy after this reading to see what comes up for you, right? To watch that again as well, to see if the messages match. And especially if there's overlaps or similar messages that came up in this reading then and that reading, then they will likely be really important for you. So you might want to go over that again, or if you haven't done that, do that as well, because we are in the build-up of all these energies right now, as it is the 22nd already. Then we have on the 26th the full moon. And then on the 27th we have a full lunar eclipse. Well, that's a lot, right? Mercury retrograde, day outside of time, the Lion's Gate is beginning, and that will maintain, keep going for 2 weeks. And the full moon, and then we have the lunar eclipse. So basically 5 different things that all in them themselves already have a lot of impact, and now they're all coming, arriving, beginning at the same time. We're gonna have so much fun. Anyhow, it has to do with it's going to be kind of like a hard reset of your emotions. And if things have been building up to an unbearable crescendo the past 6 months, then with this moon and the lunar eclipse will offer you the opportunity to get a clean slate again, right? that means that you can it can help you to rid yourself of unwanted emotional baggage, like a cleansing of the soul. But like with any cleansing, that usually isn't a joyride. It can be quite seriously, you know, have an impact. And this I didn't know. Apparently, a lunar eclipse is always preceded by a solar eclipse. I really didn't know that. And we have that solar eclipse on the 12th of July, and there's going to be another one somewhere in August. And one that is stronger than the one of the 12th was. That was also just a partial solar eclipse. We're going to have a full solar eclipse in August. But since we had that solar eclipse on the 12th, which precedes then the lunar eclipse of the 27th, the energies are already building up from the 12th onwards. And boy, did I feel that, and many of you likely too. Yeah, that's what it says as well. That means the eclipse energy is already underway. So if you've been feeling out of sorts the last 10 days, then that's because of that. In the weeks to come, you can expect the unexpected. Eclipses are often tipping points that shift situation, expedite change, and sometimes even pull the rug out from under your feet. Wow, doesn't that sound great? You'd really sign up for that, right? And of course an eclipse can be more disorienting when you're not aware that it's going on, and that is, and a lot of people just don't know. They're not aware of these things and the impact of these things at all. But it also happens when we have a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse that you can't see where you live, and then you're not thinking of it. You know, when there's a full solar eclipse, and you will notice it, right? A lunar eclipse, then yeah, that will pique your interest as well. But if this lunar eclipse, we can't see it, if I'm correct, in the northern hemisphere, so then it's easy to not think about it at all. But the energies will still be there. The energies will still have the same impact, whether you can see it or not, whether you know about it or not. Right, so then it might even be more disorienting because you haven't a clue why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and at least if you know, then you can also be prepared and know how to deal with it. During this particular lunar eclipse, your emotions will be in overdrive, and that means good emotions as well as bad emotions, right? So passion will be more powerful. If happiness might become euphoric, anger could be explosive, sadness and frustration might feel overwhelming. You know, so everything is a bit enhanced. All emotions are enhanced in overdrive, as it says here. So it could really be rough. But yeah, you have to realize that it's all about transforming, about letting go of stuff that doesn't serve us anymore, which might not be easy, but in the end it's about transforming into something, well, into a better version of ourselves, of who we are, which is then good, because then we can also, if we are a better version of who we now are, we can also begin manifesting things that really match us and serve us and make us feel better. So that's, in that way, it's all for a good cause, even though it might not be pleasant. I'm sorry I'm laughing because I'm always so sensitive to these things, you know. I'm not always having a very good time, even though I know it's for a good cause. And this is really quite beautiful. This bit is from Leonard Cohen, a line. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And that on this this blog, they translated that into look for the light, follow that out of the tunnel, and let peace and relief wash over you like a cool eclipse moon bath. And then it all suddenly feels a lot better and more positive, right? So maybe that's a good one to remember. And not all sun signs will be affected equally by this lunar eclipse, by all this lunacy, which makes sense, right, in a way. And then there's 6 sun signs that will not be affected in a bad way so much as the rest. And these are, mine isn't in there. I feel sorry for myself. The ones who will not be so affected are Aries, Libra, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius and Gemini. Aries, Libra, Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo and Gemini. So if you're one of these 6, then you likely are not going to have such a rough ride. Now maybe it still then varies on your moon and Venus and whatever, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an astrologer. But in general, you should have it a bit easier than the rest of us. Like me, I'm a Taurus, my sign isn't in here. Anyhow, a little bit more information on retrograde Mercury, which is very interesting. I always like to read that again. I always tend to forget that. I always think like, oh great, Mercury retrograde, everything's gonna go wrong, right? Like computers breaking down, phones not working, internet not working, and communication fuck-ups, excuse my French. But there's also a positive side to Mercury retrograde, and if you don't know about that, you might have similar feelings like to me, like it's just a shitty 6 weeks, you know, waiting for it to be over again. Mercury is in its shadow during retrograde, meaning that's how it affects us as well. So if you, during Mercury retrograde, tend to react from your shadow, you're going to have a rough ride. If on the other hand side you go inwards and focus on your shadow sides, work on them and deal with them and react and act from your heart and your spirit and from love basically and kindness, then it's not such a difficult time at all. So in that way it's a beautiful opportunity to go inwards and to work on any old pains and needs, issues, whatever that still needs work, and to not react from these things. So not have knee-jerk reactions from old pain and trauma, because if you do that, then it's going to be more difficult. So in that way, it basically comes down to not resisting the energies of Mercury retrograde. Yeah, I think that is what it comes down to. So I wanted to tell you that as well, because there is a positive thing to it, right? There's always yeah, every coin has 2 sides. So there is a positive side to Mercury retrograde, even though I usually don't like Mercury retrograde periods all that much. Although I must say, this time I haven't noticed any problems all that much, knock on wood. This is real wood, so that should help. Anyhow, going into the reading. Gosh, I'm warm. I'm not going to show you the piles, although you can see them a little bit, but it's difficult to think. But then I have to get the camera out of the stand, and that's not really going to work. Oh, and I need a drink. I first need a drink. I'll be right back. Alright, thank goodness I didn't press the stop button. I did that the other day. In the middle of a reading, I pressed the wrong button and it was a stop button or whatever, and then I had to do it all again. I think I did that reading about 4 times before I got it right. That's not funny. Trust me, it's not funny. Anyhow, I'm gonna start numbers. This is 1. If you do want to choose from what you can see, like this, there's a crystal on it. I'm gonna show you the crystal so to help you choose, right? Oh, let's turn those over. this is 1 and that's 2 and this is 3. So if you still feel like, oh, I feel drawn to that pile, okay, fair enough, then you're done. For the others, for the other people, I'm going to show you a crystal. This is ruby in dark moonstone. So if you feel drawn to that, then you're number 1. The second one is a selenite heart. I got that yesterday, and it's got this wonderful bit here that almost looks like clear quartz. So if you feel drawn, there we have it, that's better. If you feel drawn to that, then you're number 2. And for the numbers 3, we have this cacoxenite in quartz. Cacoxenite, you cannot really see it properly. It's in the tops, the tips of these points that are on this tiny little cluster. Cacoxenite is quite rare. It really is quite rare, and it's bloody expensive. If you can find a tumbled piece of that, it's golden needles, and if you can find a tumbled piece of that, it costs quite a lot of money. It is quite rare to find that. There's tiny little bits of these needles in here in the tips. I have to really put a light on it so you can see it, but trust me, it's in there, right? This is cacoxenite in quartz. So if you feel drawn to that, then you're number 3. If you want to know what it does energetically, then please just Google it, okay? Otherwise the reading is gonna take forever. Already 15 minutes into the reading. I'm likely not gonna make this with one recording. Oh gosh, typical me. I'm gonna have to move these things over. I need a bit more space. So I'm gonna move my wand and righty. For the numbers 1, I will show you the cards. What will happen for you, how you will feel, how it will affect you, these energies, right? The full moon, the eclipse, that mostly. I didn't per se focus on Mercury retrograde, more on the lunar eclipse and the full moon. That's basically what I focused on. But it's all happening at the same time, so it's all in there anyway, right? Then we have these 3 cards: the dedication, boredom, and transition. And I feel that you, during this entire period, and that's probably been going on for some time, likely for weeks, and if not then since the partial solar eclipse on the 12th, so for quite some time I feel you kind of lost your way, your drive, your passion. You're sort of like lost. Like you had a goal, you were dedicated to that. You had direction. You working on your dreams and your goals and passions, and you had direction in life. And all of a sudden, bang, you're not sure anymore. I don't know. What am I going to do? So in that way, feeling lost, and you're really going through a transition, going from one place to another, and just not knowing where you will end up, not even knowing for sure maybe if you actually have to be on that boat, or maybe that you should go back to where you were. Like maybe it was the right thing to do. And maybe you just have to change and do something else after all. Just lost in that way. Just lost, not knowing. Having lost a sense of direction. But it is because you are going through a transition within, right? You're going through a transformation, a transition. And you will get clarity again. But right now, during this this phase of this energetic to-do, I feel that you are lost. You don't know anymore. You're not certain anymore. You're really just not certain anymore. So you got on that boat, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna bob around, and I don't know. At least I'm moving. I'm doing something. So you're likely still doing something. because there is movement. That boat is moving. You can clearly see that, right? You can clearly see that it is moving through the water. It's not, you're not standing still, so you are doing stuff. You still are moving, you're still undertaking things. It's just that you're not certain anymore if what you were doing is the right thing. You kind of lost your spark. The passion, the inspiration, your spark to do whatever it was that you were working on, working towards. You're just not certain anymore. So that's how I feel you are affected by all this. And then how you can make it a bit easier. What's these two doing here? Oh right, yeah, that comes up, comes later. Is that something or what? This is a peculiar. What can you do to make it a bit easier? 2 solar plexus cards, because they're yellow, right? 2 solar plexus cards. We have the boundaries, and this was self-esteem. Now with the boundaries is interesting. I think this tells you, especially with another card that's going to come out, because I've already gone through this. I chose this one myself. The boundaries card asks you to really check in with yourself as to why you want something, or why you are doing something, or why you are not doing something. Is it really because it's your highest good? Because it's your soul wanting it, your passion, your drive, your heart's calling, or whatever, you know? Or is it because of a more of an ego thing? And that can be for anything, not just pertaining to this dream or goals or whatever that you were trying to manifest, but also when you do something for someone else, are you actually then doing it because you genuinely want to help that person, or are you doing it for maybe getting appreciation, validation, or, you know, distraction from your own thing? Right? When you're helping other people, you do not have to think about your own problems. So look at these things, look at that, look at those things. And also, if you find that you are doing things for the wrong reason, then say no, which means saying yes to you, right? Yes to you means no to the other, or something else. Can also be a thing, of course. And with the self-esteem, yeah, work on that. Self-love, feeling worthy, feeling, in a way also finding that spark again, your confidence, your pride, your... But likely that's also suffering now, because you... Maybe with this, having lost that, maybe there is a sense of, can I actually do it? Maybe I can't do it. Maybe it's out of my reach. Maybe something like that. It is possible, because this comes up. This self-esteem, working on self-esteem, feeling more confident again. If you feel confident, you also and have self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, etc., etc. You also find it easier to get back to this again, right? And your sense of direction, what you want, your passions, your dreams, your hopes, your goals, and taking steps towards that, taking action. And if you lose that, then you get that. Like, I don't know, I'm not certain. I'm just going to sit here and think about it, and it's like, I don't know. I don't feel fulfilled. It doesn't make me happy. I don't know. It doesn't make me unhappy. Doesn't also make me happy. It's, I don't know. That's tied in, right? That's connected, these two things, If you have self-love and self-worth and all that, and confidence, then you don't feel like this. And then advice. We have the King of Arrows, the Kingfisher, and we have frustration. Is that something? Frustration. This is about the archer being kind of like pissed off and frustrated, and it's not working out. I don't know what to do and what to go and where, and oh my god, I just don't know. And then just, even though he doesn't feel calm and at peace and knowing what he wants, etc., he's just really frustrated, he's still shooting arrows. But if you shoot arrows with that vibration, you're not going to hit the mark. It's not going to work out. And that will only make you more frustrated. And if you then keep shooting arrows off anyway, they're just going to fly everywhere. It's just not going to work. And what it says in the book is really beautiful. Frustration is ungrounded energy. Isn't that something? So maybe you should just indeed sit down to ground yourself and to just, you know, just take some time, relax, and not with like, I don't know what to do, not that. The boredom card that came up, not like that, right? But in just more like soul searching. At least just don't do this. Don't do this. Don't start shooting arrows and out of frustration, like, oh, I must do something, I have to do something, and it has to work out, and I want it to work. Not that. Just don't do that. And that's not going to work out. It's not going to help you. It's only going to frustrate you more. Really is only going to frustrate you more. And this basically confirms that, because this is beautiful. This is bringing, I have to look that up because it's so beautiful. Finding a way through chaos by calm clarity. And finding an impartial standpoint. Impartial, so not acting from frustration, not being like, don't know what to do either, yeah, right? So an impartial standpoint, being more neutral, so you can see, then you can get clarity. Yeah, even through this chaos, you can then get clarity. So that is what you have to do. And also what it says as well is that when you can see clearly, you can also rid yourself of things, maybe even people, that you don't need to hold on to, that don't serve you anymore. So cut yourself free from things that weigh you down. And for me, that then goes straight back into the boundary thing, like because this card speaks of, in the book, right, speaks of really looking at why you do things, why do you want things. And then if you do something for the wrong reason, like for instance getting validation, because you don't give yourself validation, you want it from other people, in a way that's going to weigh you down. That's going to weigh you down, and that's what you shouldn't do anymore. That's the advice. Get rid of stuff, stop doing things that weigh you down. And don't act from frustration. And then I have one more card for you that you can meditate on. It's from my Water Crystal Oracle deck. Absolutely wonderful, from Dr. Masaru Emoto. It's something you can just meditate on. It's autumn. You got autumn. I'm going to show you the crystal in a minute. I'm going to turn it around. And autumn is but that time of the year when stuff comes into fruition, really, right? Like nuts and seeds and flowers, etc. And that's the time where you should be grateful and for what you were given that entire year, that in the period before autumn arrived. So it's a time to look back at all the wonderful things that you were given and be grateful for that. And this is the crystal that you can meditate on if you want. That goes with autumn. So if you want, you can pause the video and meditate on that. Autumn. Righty. So numbers 1, that is your reading. I hope it's helpful and well, to get through this period. And thank you for watching. And please give me some resonance, feedback. And then I'm going to move to the numbers 2, the people who chose the selenite heart. Put that there. And we had 4 cards come up for you. I need a sip of water. It's so warm. I think it's about 28 or 30 degrees indoors or something. It's really warm. Anyhow, what we have for you is the, oh dear God, I'm not good at holding cards at all. We have the Guardian, which is the Devil. We have the Injustice, it's called Injustice, and the Archer. Default tarot, that will be the Chariot, and we have Home, 10 of Stones, Home. Now for you, I hadn't intended to get 4 cards. I wanted to do just 2 or 3 like with the other set, but just 4 cards came out, so I decided to stick with that. The Guardian is about, you're going to go through quite a transformation. It's going to be quite hectic for you. This energetic stuff that's going to come is already building up. It's going to be quite hectic for you, I feel, with this card coming up especially. And but it's nothing to fear, right? This is the, or is it Death? No, it's the Devil. I always have to think about it. It's the Devil. But basically it's nothing to fear. It's about your own deeper, darker, wild nature. It's about your own going deep, your own nature. And you could see that maybe as your shadow side. And so there's nothing to fear. It's if nothing else, you must know that part of yourself as well. If you want to be able to be light, if that makes sense. Yeah. And also finding more, finding a balance, more of a balance on the inside. And with the Archer, I have to read something about that Archer, because it's I have to, let me see, because that was really beautiful. Oh yeah, I got it. That's, yeah, I have to check that, because I do these cards and and I move from one set to the next, and when I'm doing one set I dump all the info basically from the first set. And then, yeah, I always do that automatically. After a reading, I just sort of let go of the information. Otherwise, I'd be holding all that information in my own system all the time, because I do so many readings, also the personal readings, right? So that's what happens, and sometimes that's really annoying, because as a chunk, it's gone, because I've done number 3 after that as well, right? Anyhow. This is about the dawning of a new adventure, and also being bold, daring to be bold and to commit to this a new cycle, almost a new way of life, a new cycle. And this is about taking the time to, well, of course, know what you want, because otherwise how can you hunt if you don't know what your prey is, so to speak, what your aim is? You have to know where to shoot the arrow, right? So you can't shoot it just willy-nilly, yeah, nilly-willy, whatever. You have to know where you're going to shoot it, in what direction, what your goal is. But also, not just do that, what you have to do now, is this is a major arcana card, so it's more important than a minor arcana card. You have to basically load the arrow and the quill with what you want, what you really want, what you want to achieve, all your dreams and hopes, and how you feel about it, your passion about it. And you load that arrow with all that, and also your own skills and talents of what you can do to make that manifest, to make it come true, to bring it into fruition. And you load that arrow with that as well. So you, on that arrow, you put both your why you want it, that drive, that passion, that also the belief that you're gonna get it. Just knowing that you are going to get it. It's there for you. It's waiting for you. You are going to hit that mark. And that all that you put that on the arrow, and your talents and skills and everything that you have and know, and your wisdom of how to then just manifest it when it comes to you, and then you let go of the arrow. That's what this is about. And in order to do that, to get to that point where you can do that, you have to go through that transformation. You have to go through the transformation to dig deeper, to likely get rid of a lot of old shit. Clean out the closet. And that might not be pleasant. That might not be pleasant. Right? Because it is the devil after all. It might not be pleasant, but it is likely very necessary to also get out of this disconnect between the head and the heart, not knowing, doubting. This is also in a way, it's just being stuck. You're stuck here. You can't move. You can't do anything. You have to get out of that. And here, if you've reached that, you are out of it. But you have to get through that guardian, the devil phase first. And then you get this, the Ten of Stones. I feel you're going to come out feeling really cleansed. I always feel that you come out of this passageway, and then as if there was on this side of that passage, was it like a cleansing shower or something? It's a process. Damn, I lost the word now. I had the word in my head. Almost like a birth canal. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. Almost like a birth canal that you have to squeeze through and work your way through, and then you come out on the other end, and then it's, wow, you're home. You're right where you belong, what you wanted. You found your tribe. You're in the right place at the right time. Everything's working out. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. But then, yeah, it's at first it's not going to be all that wonderful. It's going to be quite. You're probably going to have quite a rough ride at first. You're going to come out feeling good. But I do feel that you will have to do that as well then, right? Can't skip that. If you want to get this, you have to do this. And if you want to get to this, you have to get through this. Righty, advice for you is really very beautiful. It's about, I'm going to look up this card. That was a beautiful message. Love that dog, isn't that wonderful? And faith. Hang about, I need to, because there was a beautiful message with that, with the doggy. Yeah. That's it, and that was the vibe I got with that card, that dog, right? And it's a golden retriever, I think, right? They are just really warm, loving, caring, playful. They're just a bit blonde, a bit stupid. Maybe not all of them. I've had one in the past, and she was just, she was blonde. Okay, let's stick with that. She was just blonde. She never walked on the road, never crossed the road until there was a car coming. As soon as there was a car coming, then she started walking at the middle of the road, or she decided to cross the road right in front of a car. I mean, and she never really listened, obeyed or anything, just did whatever she wanted to do. It was just, but she was loving, she was sweet, you know, yeah, just a bit dim, dim. But just loving, you know, and they don't judge either. That's what you get with that card. That's no judgment, and that's what it says as well. Just love yourself, and not just when you have achieved something, like maybe gotten a job, or you won at a sports game, or when you lost a stone or whatever. No, love yourself always. Love yourself, not only when you have achieved something, right? Because then it's very conditional. Then you only love yourself when you achieve something. It's conditional, and this card is about unconditional love. I'm sorry if it's wobbling. That's because the table can wobble a tiny little bit. Yeah, that will make you feel a hell of a lot better if you can do that. Just love yourself no matter what, even if you haven't lost weight or haven't won a game, or you know, and yeah, it says that learn to love yourself in your lightness and in your shadow. And that's what I wanted to look up, because they're kind of, what do I do with the cards? Oh, there. Oh, unbelievable. Because of that, the shadow. You also have to go in the shadow, and then in the end you come out in the light. Right? Through that birth canal, after that transformation, you come out into the light. That's what I thought was really quite nice. It came up as that. And with the faith card, it's there was also a really beautiful message. There's so many messages with these cards. It's always finding what resonates. Yeah, there we have it. It's good that I looked it up. This card is beautiful. Look at it. Absolutely beautiful. Also receiving. The love card with the golden retriever is also about receiving. This as well. But it says that this card is letting you know that you are guided and supported. Okay, nice to know. But this is what I feel resonates with this reading. You don't need to see the entire path ahead in every detail. You have to just take a leap of faith and know that you are not alone. So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know every freaking little detail just yet. You just have to get to this stage and shoot that arrow. You know what you have to aim for, but you do not have to wait around and sit around and wait till you have full knowledge how it's going to end and where the arrow is going to end up and what the result is going to be, etc., etc. No, you don't have to. You just have to shoot that arrow with your intent, with your passion and your inspiration, your skills, everything that you load onto the arrow, and then you just you let it go. And then it will just have faith. Then you need to have faith. Right? You don't need to know everything. You just shoot that arrow. Don't wait and sit around. Your crystal, I'm running out of time. Oh my god, 42 minutes. This is going to be a second video for the number 3. I'm just going to start number 3 at the second video. It's just pointless to not to. Anyhow, for the numbers 2, your water crystal card that you can meditate on is this. Thank you. This is your crystal. Look at that. There's a smile in there. A happy face. Thank you. So that's what you can meditate on, and both the crystal, but also be grateful, be thankful. Right? During this time, that's likely also going to be important for you. Otherwise it wouldn't have come up. Righty. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate some feedback from you if things resonated, if you already recognize things from the reading, the things that came up. Maybe you already indeed are going through quite a transformation. Also, maybe for yourself, you might want to look up selenite. It might the workings of that, the energetic healing effect, etc., because that might help you as well. Maybe, you know, if you're into crystals, maybe selenite is going to be helpful. Then I'm going to pause the video and now stop it and start a new one for the number 3. So number 3, I'll see you in a minute.